One.
Hello, and welcome to our Artist Count Letter of Interest webinar. We're glad you're here. This webinar provides artists who have completed the Artist Count eligibility process with detailed guidance on completing the LOI, the next important step in the application process. We received a strong response to this funding opportunity with over 600 artists successfully completing the eligibility requirements. The LOI will determine which artists will be invited to submit full applications to compete for the 42 available awards. The Artist Count Technical Assistance Team is represented by San Diego Art Matters staff members Felicia Shaw, Michael Angelo Camacho, and Inez Nefsi, and the International Community Foundation staff members Jennifer Martin Del Campo and Diana Vello. We're pleased to serve you. If you have questions regarding any information shared in this webinar or in the Artist Count Guidelines, which you can find on our website at artistcount.org, please contact us at info@artistcount.org. We'll respond within 24 hours. Also, if at any time during this webinar you need Spanish translation, please put a note in the chat box and we'll respond. In this webinar, we'll provide a broad overview of Artist Count, but we'll devote the majority of our time to the LOI process. We'll explain what is a letter of interest, what makes a strong LOI, what types of projects should you be considering to propose in your LOI. We'll also talk about the LOI questions and how staff will review and score your responses. We'll cover the Akoya Go LOI online portal and how to get support. Just a quick review of Artist Count. Artist Count is a binational workforce development program for artists living and working in Tijuana, Mexico, and San Diego County. It invests $1.3 million in funding for artist jobs, professional development, and networking opportunities, enabling artists on both sides of the border to build sustainable careers. 42 artists will be selected, but many others will benefit through partnerships with the selected artists and by participating in Artist Count professional development and networking events. Artist Count is also a research initiative designed to collect important data about artists living in our binational region. The more we understand about your challenges and needs, the more we'll be able to advocate for cultural policy that will make building a career as an artist in our region possible. So why was Artist Count created? The San Diego binational region has always had a large and talented creative workforce whose contributions make living in San Diego highly desirable. However, more and more artists are finding that they can no longer afford to live in San Diego and are relocating to other cities where they can find work to support their families and build professional careers. Artist Count is designed to address the problem in three ways. First, to provide livable wage jobs that will keep artists working. Secondly, to collect data on the lives of working artists to inform the development of future programs like this. Artist Count is also about recognizing San Diego's unique relationship with Mexico, particularly Tijuana, which is home to so many artists who live and work on both sides of the border. We see these artists as important contributors to our region, and through this program, we want to help them build stronger relationships and partnerships with each other. Artist Count was developed by a group of nonprofit and philanthropic partners, most of whom previously worked together on Far South Border North, a similar creative workforce development project funded by the California Arts Council. This new initiative is led by San Diego Art Matters, the program administrator, the International Community Foundation, the Previs Foundation, and the City of San Diego Cultural Affairs. All have pooled funds from public and private sources to make Artist Count possible. We're also pleased to partner with our research partner, the Policy and Innovation Center. PIC is a dynamic nonprofit organization that has conducted similar research projects about the arts in the past. Their offices are located at the San Diego Foundation. Before we get into the LOI, PIC wants to remind everyone to complete the research survey if you haven't already done so. The survey is still open and completing it is really easy. You simply access a link you can find on the Artist Count website, artistcount.org. Your responses are kept anonymous so you can be honest and open. It doesn't take much time, less than 10 minutes from start to finish. And then we'll share the results of the survey with the community next year in the form of a report. You'll hear more about that over the next few months. Now, let's shift to how the LOI process works. In this part of the webinar, we'll discuss specifically the LOI questions, and how staff plans to review your submissions and select the artists who will be invited to submit a full application. The letter of interest, or LOI, is the second phase of a multi-phased application and selection process. The LOI is designed to help us learn more about you and why this funding opportunity is the right fit for you. We want to learn about the type of work you do and the project idea you hope to do if selected. The LOI is intentionally simple. No budget, no work samples, just space for telling your authentic story. We don't know how many of the 600 or so eligible artists will submit an LOI, but we anticipate only inviting about 100 to submit full applications. So this phase of the process will be highly competitive. So what makes a strong LOI? Your LOI will be more successful if it aligns with the Artist Count purpose. Take time to read the guidelines if you haven't already done so, to gain a deeper understanding of what this opportunity is all about. The information you share about yourself should allow us to understand who you are as an artist and why this opportunity is right for you right now. The project idea you share should be clear and compelling, and the project should be one that is timely, almost catalytic, given where you are in your career. It is very important that the project you propose is public-facing, meaning it is developed with the broader public in mind. It should be accessible and focus on themes that are relevant to our communities. Most importantly, your project idea must be realistic and feasible, given the time and money you have available to invest. You can propose project ideas of any artistic discipline and on any particular topic or theme. You don't need to have your project concept fully thought out. It can be a work in progress or a totally new idea, but it must be an idea that aligns with the goals and parameters of Artist Count. The project must be place-based, occurring or developing within the geographic location of your primary residence. The project must occur within the cycle of the funding opportunity from the beginning of your contract, which should be finalized in November of 2026, through December of 2027. The project should be financially feasible. That means that given the amount of money you have available from the award, which for the City of San Diego and County of San Diego will be $50,000 per artist, and any additional funding or in-kind funds you can access on your own, you should be able to complete the project. You might mention your project budget in the LOI, but it is not required if you don't know it yet. As you're thinking about your project, know that it should include some type of publicly accessible culminating event, an exhibition, performance, reading, or screening. This does not need to be a huge event, but something that is meaningful, given the funds you received and the amount of time you spent working on it. It should enable the public to engage with your creative process in a passive or active way. Some mention of your idea for a culminating event in the LOI would be helpful. Our Cultural Affairs funding partner has been explicit regarding projects proposed within the City of San Diego limits. The city wishes us to prioritize the selection of projects that are within under-resourced communities. Now, these communities are identified by the City of San Diego as promise zones, communities of concern, and areas geographically identified by indicators such as the Climate Equity Index or the Economic Hardship Index. These are priority areas, not required areas. This means that you're still open to proposed projects of your choosing anywhere within the city of San Diego, if those areas have meaning to you. However, we will be giving those artists who choose to center their work within the prioritized areas extra consideration. To learn more about these under-resourced communities prioritized by the city of San Diego, visit sandiego.gov/economic-development-San Diego-Diego-promise-zone. So let's talk about the actual LOI questions or prompts we have designed that will help you tell your story. You will respond to 4 questions in the Akoya Go system. Each question provides space for a 4,000 character response, which is about 500 words. That means the entire LOI response is about 2 pages of single-spaced text. We suggest that you draft your response in a Word document so that you can keep track of your character count and then paste it into the system when it's ready. Keep in mind that the system does not allow you to save your work. The first question is all about you. In this section, you will share a short introduction that helps us understand your work and career trajectory as an artist, as well as your connection to this region. Do not assume we know anything about your work, even if you are world famous. In the next section, we dive in a bit deeper. We want to know what motivated you to apply for funding, why this opportunity is the right fit for you at this moment. In your response, mention what funding category you plan to apply for, San Diego, county, city, or Tijuana, and why this support would make a meaningful difference in your practice or career. In the third section, we invite you to share your project idea. The project idea should be clearly described. You'll want to describe what it is, why it matters to you, where it will take place, how it fits into your artistic growth, when it will happen, and who besides you might be involved. We're particularly interested in knowing how you imagine sharing the work with the public, even if you haven't yet fleshed out the logistics. If your project is intended to generate income for you or other artists now or in the future, we'd be pleased to know that as well. In the final section, we want to know how your project is relevant to the community. What is the community connection? In your response, you may discuss the impact your project is intended to have. For example, it may allow you to reach new audiences, create visibility and awareness of underrepresented stories, promote awareness of social causes, or build connections across various communities. There's no right answer that we're looking for, just your authentic response. You should already be familiar with the Akoya Go online application system because you used it to submit your eligibility information. You will need to return to the Akoya Go portal for this next phase of the process. The login page is accessed through the link you were provided in the email that announced your eligibility to move forward with the LOI. This is what the login page will look like. After signing in, you will follow the prompts. Remember that you will click on View to get the LOI introduction page where you will find the 4 questions we discussed earlier. Also remember to draft your responses outside the system in a Word document and then paste them into the system. This will help you avoid losing your work because the Akoya Go system does not have a save function. Plus, you can track your characters in Word so that your response stays within the space limitations. Once you submit your LOI, it will be our job to review your submittals and make our selections. All LOIs will be reviewed by staff who will ultimately determine which 100 or so artists are invited to submit full applications. The ICF team will review the Tijuana applications, LOIs, and San Diego Art Matters will review the City of San Diego and San Diego County submissions. We will review the LOIs individually and then come together as a team to review them together and make our final decisions. When we come together as a team, we'll use a system of yes, move forward to the application, no, do not move forward, or undecided. And for the undecideds, we'll discuss them as a group and then decide if they become a yes or become a no. From this group, we'll then select the final 42 awardees in a separate process. Just a few words about artificial intelligence. Today, we live in a technologically savvy world where many of us are using artificial intelligence as a tool to make mundane tasks easier. We may use AI as well to help organize and summarize submitted materials for our review. That said, we're also mindful to use AI in a way that protects your privacy so that your information is not shared on the internet. What we will not do is use AI to make selection decisions for us. Humans, only us will make those selection decisions. Our advice to you is to use AI as a tool, the way you use an assistant or an editor, not as the author of your ideas. The strongest applications sound like the artist, reflect the artist's lived experience, and communicate a clear, authentic vision. Now, there are multiple ways you can get the support you need as you navigate through the various stages of the Artist Count process, including this letter of interest. A good source of information is our website, artistcount.org, where you can find copies of the guidelines, key dates, and other useful information. We will continue to host office hours where you can join us on Zoom and ask any questions you have about Artist Count. Office hours are held every week on Thursday at 12 noon via Zoom. And our help desk is always open via email. You can expect a reply to your questions within 24 hours. All information will be presented in English and Spanish. And we also provide ADA assistance on request. One tip that is important to follow is to take early action. Do not wait until the last minute to submit any required information, including this LOI. Online systems are not always reliable, and we have had some glitches with the Aquarigo system that we're still working out. The most important deadline for you to remember now is June 19th for the LOI. Thank you for attending this webinar and for your interest in Artist Count, both our funding opportunity and our research project. Both are developed to address the needs of artists living and working in our binational region so that you can have sustainable careers doing the work that matters. We look forward to reviewing your letters of interest later this month. Thank you.